You are standing in line. Your phone is in your pocket. 10 seconds pass. Your hand is already moving toward it. You don't decide to reach for it. You just do. Something in you cannot tolerate this feeling. This small, gray, itchy discomfort called boredom. You've been taught to think of it as empty time, wasted time, a glitch in your day that needs to be patched over with a screen. But the real answer is far stranger. Boredom is not a malfunction. It is one of the oldest, most carefully tuned instruments your brain owns. And for most of human history, it may have kept your ancestors alive. Picture a small band of early humans, maybe 40 of them, moving across a grassland 200,000 years ago. The hunt is over. The fire is built. The meat is cooking. And now there is nothing to do. No screens, no books, no music playing in the background. Just stillness. What happens in that stillness? Psychologist Erin Westgate has spent years studying exactly this question. Her research suggests boredom is not the absence of stimulation. It's a signal, a very specific kind of signal. It tells you that what you're currently doing is failing to hold your attention and that your mind is capable of something better. Think of it like hunger, but for meaning instead of food. Hunger doesn't just say, you have no food. It says, go find food, because you need it to survive. Boredom works the same way. It doesn't just say, this moment is empty. It says, go find something worth your attention, because your mind needs it to function. For your ancestors sitting around that fire, this signal had enormous stakes. A restless mind was a mind that scanned the horizon, a mind that noticed the shift in wind direction, the sound of a branch snapping, the shape of a cloud that might mean rain. A mind that wandered toward tomorrow's plan instead of staying frozen in tonight's comfort. Boredom, in other words, was not a break from survival. It was a survival tool disguised as discomfort. But here's where the story gets stranger. Boredom didn't just push your ancestors to look outward at the world around them. It pushed them to look inward, into their own minds, in a way almost no other species can. Neuroscientist Marcus Rachel discovered something remarkable when he studied the brain during periods of rest. He expected the brain to go quiet. Instead, he found a network of regions that lit up specifically when a person had nothing to do. He called it the default mode network. This network activates when you daydream, when you replay an old memory, when you imagine a conversation that hasn't happened yet. In plain terms, boredom doesn't shut your brain off. It switches your brain to a different channel, one built for imagination, memory, and planning instead of immediate action. Why would evolution build this in? Because a mind that can simulate the future before that future arrives has an enormous advantage. A bored human daydreaming by a fire might mentally rehearse tomorrow's hunt, might picture where the herd will be at dawn, might replay yesterday's mistake and quietly correct it. None of this requires external stimulation. All of it requires boredom. Here's the twist that changes everything. Modern life has almost completely eliminated this state. Every idle second is now filled. Waiting for a bus, standing in an elevator, lying in bed before sleep. All of it instantly filled with a screen. Researcher Timothy Wilson ran an experiment that sounds almost too strange to be true. He put people alone in a room with absolutely nothing to do except think. No phone, no book, just their own mind for 15 minutes. Many participants found it so unbearable that, when given the option, they chose to give themselves mild electric shocks rather than sit with their own thoughts. Read that again. People chose pain over boredom. This wasn't because boredom itself is dangerous. It's because most modern humans have lost the practice of sitting inside it. The muscle has atrophied. The default mode network, the very system built to turn empty time into insight, rarely gets switched on anymore. And when it doesn't get switched on, something is lost. Some of your most important ideas, the ones that solve a problem you've been stuck on for weeks, the ones that reframe a relationship, the ones that quietly tell you what you actually want out of life, don't arrive while you're scrolling. They arrive in the shower, on a long walk, staring out a train window with nothing to distract you. They arrive in boredom. So what does this mean for you, right now, today? It means every time you reach for your phone to erase a moment of stillness, you may be interrupting the exact mental process your brain evolved to run. It means the discomfort you feel in line, in traffic, in the quiet minutes before sleep is not a problem to be solved. It's a door. Your ancestors didn't have the option to scroll it away.